All is one, P.A. Finley, thePafWay, coming at you live once again. This is going to be part 2 to the God particle. In part 1, hold on, let me adjust this a little bit for you guys. In part 1, I ran into what would we call that in part 1? Guess I should have figured that out by now. I don't know what it was, a conundrum. I ran into a conundrum. The question was, All1llA being based that God is everywhere. And if there's nothing outside of God, nothing is something. And I just could not, I had a little bit of a computer crash. I couldn't make sense of that. Well, since then, I got a Band-Aid on that. I'll put a patch on it until I come into a higher reasoning. I've come to the conclusion that there is nothing outside of God, and nothing is something, and God is there too. I'm just going, just to move on. That'll put a patch on it until I'll get back to that later. Because that is yeah. So, and the space in between, that was a big one. The God particle is here, it's there, it's everywhere. And then on the microcosmic level, just all the way to subatomic. The space in between, God is there. So I'm back. I ain't gonna lie, I was like, what? But I'm okay now. I'm all right. Back to the God particle, though. So this is not going to be too long of a video because I'm about to get ready for work. I'm at a car wash, so get the car shined up a little bit. But the God particle, man, is an awesome thing when you think about it. The yin yang sign, man. Okay, so the deal is some people call God the universe, higher power. So many titles to try to describe the indescribable. But some people call it the grand architect. And I get it. Crazy, because it's completely reverse of any type of 2 + 2 systematic process that we as human beings are used to. 2 + 2 put this vehicle together. The simplified version of life, mastery of that brings about everything we see and experience today in 2019, November 1st. 3:35 p.m. California time, Pacific. That the science of the God particle completely, it scraps all scientific fact and every data, and which we can't ignore the scientific fact and data because that's how we got here. We work in it. We using it to elevate and grow this physical reality. So when somebody brings to you and offers to you says this understanding, this reasoning, this thought process goes against everything you know, it actually doesn't go against it, but it definitely complicates it. And so, you know, when you hear it, you're like, the yin-yang sign, where the one is in the other and the other is in the one, where the micro is inside the macro, which makes perfect sense to us. That is 2 + 2 = 4. But the micro inside the macro inside the micro, that's 2 + 2 = 19. Dude, how do you put the macro inside the micro? Dude, that sounds stupid. It actually, to the mechanics of an individual's mind that lives today in this world, has been raised in this world as a child, learning how this world works, using all the way into adulthood, and then using it to the benefit of the individual, and the individual advancing and growing from that information. And then here comes somebody talking about something else. You got to be a little crazy to do this thing, you know? You got to be a little crazy. But you got to be a little crazy anyway. You ain't finna, doing this in this world, you ain't finna get away from crazy. But that's the insanity in the insane, in the sane, and the sane and the insanity. It is literally you're both. Because this ride is crazy, man. This ride is first of all, okay. Let's break this thing down. Let's get to some hardcore facts. We talking about facts. Fact is, none of this should exist. You and I, none of it should even be here. None of this should be. It has scientists for years and decades and centuries have been trying to figure out how is this even possible. Nobody's has come to a real good answer as to how this is possible. Look at your hand. If you just look at some of the stuff around you, how do you work? How does the heart beat all throughout the course of your life and don't even hiccup? I mean, nobody really knows how this stuff is. It shouldn't be. Nothing should exist. Nothing should be. Yeah, it is, and here we are. So we deal with it, right? We do the best we can with what we got. That's pretty much where everybody is. The God particle, to me, which is, by the way, let's identify what it is. And another thing, that's not a new term. You can Google God particles. A lot of people talking about it. A lot of people got their own little twists and versions of it. It popped up in my head while I'm trying to explain how God, a piece of God, is within each and all, everything, not just living things, but inanimate objects and things that we call not living, all things everywhere. Air, God particle. We're breathing it in and then sending it out. It's God, in and out. This is what we're doing. And it's a microcosmic, Star Wars calls it the metachlorians. Microcosmic beings that live in all living things. Well, this goes a little bit further because this thing lives in things that's not living, so-called. But because the God particle is there and is living and is alive, that means that thing is alive. The rock, the tree, the dirt, the sand, the grains of sand. Everywhere God is alive. There is, you see, so everything is alive because God, one of the things, God is alive. I don't think God is dead. I don't think God is not alive. I don't see that happening. And I'm using God, obviously. Just 1 second, you guys. I got to punch in this code. I'm going to pause for that. Matter of fact, I'm going to pause because I'm about to go in. No. Yeah, because it's starting. I'm getting close. So I'm going to pause and be right back when we're talking about the God particle being everywhere. All right, hold on. Okay, I'm back. I still gotta go to the car wash, but I didn't want to sit here and be waiting around while I'm trying to get this info out. So the God particle is a conundrum, and it's an infinite type of conundrum because the God particle is within the infinite, is within the finite, and the finite is within the infinite. But how far down does that go? That's supposed to be infinite in both directions. So that whole process is infinite. So we're coming upon new information, not so much new science, because this is going to open up all kinds of doors. It's not new because the yin yang sign has been around forever. So whoever came up with that and put that together, and then the information came through them to break that down. It's like the information is ancient. And we're rediscovering this information and blending it into where we are today. And that is an explosion within itself. That's a big bang within itself. So, now what does this mean? Well, what this does is, for you and for me and for us and all things that can embrace and perceive of this science, it will enhance you because it puts you direct contact with God. I don't know how you guys think about it. I'm going to have to pause because I'm going to have to jump in this. But direct contact with God is where we are. I'm going into the wash machine. So, car wash. So, I'll be right back. Direct contact with God. All right. Okay, I'm back. And so, I'm going to have to end this pretty soon, too. Make it part 3, probably. But Oh yeah, the conundrum. So we being introduced to this idea. Oh, what does it do for you? It's put you in direct contact with your higher power. Like, dude, I don't know about anybody else, but for me, that's ridiculous. We know there's a higher power. Okay. But, if you've been living long enough, and I'm really putting this on the 30s to my people, man. I gotta get them out of here. I'm sorry. I'm really looking for the 30 and up, because the 20s is ridiculous. The 20s is ridiculous. So, in the teens, you need, you're just now stepping out. So, and you ain't even did your 20s yet. So you're not even, anyway. So I'm looking for my 30 plus, because you just can't, the 30s, you just got out your 20s. So you're still reeling, from the 20s. So you're about ready to receive something by the time you get 30. So, but if you've been living on this planet, if you've been living on this planet, man, this thing is off the chain. Listen, I'm going to end this. We're going to definitely make a part 3. Y'all hang out with me. I know I'm in and out, but y'all hang out with me, man, and we're going to continue this process. Y'all know what time it is. Like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this God particle thing, and your connection to it. And, man, stay beautiful as you are. You know what time it is. Peace. One is all.